domestically and internationally. And I regret not to have been successful in those arguments, and of course it's painful not to be able to see through so many ideas and projects myself. But as we've seen at Westminster, the herd instinct is powerful. When the herd moves, it moves. And my friends, in politics, no one is remotely indispensable. And our brilliant and Darwinian system will produce another leader equally committed to taking this country forward through tough times, not just helping families to get through it, but changing and improving the way we do things, cutting burdens on businesses and families, and yes, cutting taxes, because that is the way to generate the growth and the income we need to pay for great public services. And to that new leader, I say, whoever he or she may be, I say I will give you as much support as I can. And to you, the British public, I know that there will be many people who are relieved, and perhaps quite a few who will also be disappointed. And I want you to know how sad I am to be giving up the best job in the world. But them's the breaks.
Boris Johnson there speaking just a short time ago. Well, with me is Nick Eardley, our political correspondent. Nick, I was watching it, you were watching it. Just how would you sum up the moment there?
It was really interesting because down there and up there, Boris Johnson's team, ministers, his family, some of his allies had gathered, and they all looked pretty ashen-faced, pretty emotional about the whole thing. And it is remarkable to think that when I got here this morning at 5:30, Boris Johnson's plan was still to cling on to power. But the steady stream of resignations that kept coming, and then the moves from Nadhim Zahawi, meant that he was forced out. And you got the impression from that speech that he felt really hard done by. He talked to the Tory herd, saying, when it moves, it moves. He talked about, only being a few points behind in the polls. Clearly, he still thinks that he could win back an election for the Conservative Party, or win an election for the Conservative Party and win back support. So, Boris Johnson is going still defiant, still thinking that his party has made the wrong decision. That's not gone down well with everybody, and there will still be this debate over the next few hours, I think, about whether Boris Johnson can stay as he wants to until a new leader is elected, probably in September. But, Gita, it brings to an end one of the most extraordinary and turbulent premierships. When we stood here 2.5 years ago when Boris Johnson became Prime Minister, he was master of all he surveyed politically. He just won the stonking majority at the general election. He was getting his Brexit deal through Parliament. His party worshipped him for that election result. Since then, there's just been this drip, drip, drip of scandal, of misstep, of political miscalculation, and many people would argue of mistruths, and in some cases, some would say outright lies from the number 10 machine. And here we are today, Boris Johnson forced out by his own party.